This is Financial Straight Talk with Jim Fox.
Welcome back into this week's edition of Financial Straight Talk. It's all powered by Wadadli Financial Group. Alongside Jim Fox, my name is Kevin McAlpin. And Jim, we've got ourselves a little bit of a special guest here, a little something different we're doing on the show.
Our old-timers in the house.
That's right. John Bertran joining us on the show today. John, thanks for joining us on the program.
Thank you, sir.
It's great to be here with you. He's been working with you you guys go back a long ways.
God, John, how far back do we go?
26 years ago.
26 years ago, before Michelle and I were even married, if you can think about it. Yeah, way back in the day. And here we are, and he's still alive. I haven't killed him, so it's pretty awesome.
Or vice versa.
I think I'm more intimidating than him. Make me feel better. Come on, Kevin, damn it.
I'm trying.
Come on now.
You know I'm always on your side, Mr. Fox. John, I do want to ask you, I mean, you've been doing this for over 30 years. You've had the experience in the industry. Mm-hmm. Let's go back to the beginning. Where did this calling come from? What really motivated you to want to get into the financial services industry?
You know, when I started, 37 years ago.
Wow.
There were I don't think there was even Susie Orman, or there was no Dave Ramsey.
Yeah, there was Larry Burkett, right?
Oh,
Wasn't
that's right. In fact, I actually went and talked to him, and I remember he actually, I was thinking about going and working with him, and really, there were no people out there advising people other than life insurance agents going and selling crappy whole life. And, and our concept was basically buy term and invest the difference. And just getting people to learn to live within their means, establish a budget, save in your 401k, and, things like that. They didn't even have the Roth IRA back then. It was just the traditional IRA. And I think when I started, there might have been 1,200 mutual funds. Wow. And how many are today?
A gazillion.
Yeah.
Right around a gazillion, maybe
exactly.
one.
How many commas are in a gazillion?
Yeah. A trillion. A trillion and a gazillion.
And obviously, and the landscape has changed over the years, right? So let's talk a little bit about, because Jim, I know you and I have talked about technology.
Yeah. Lord, I cannot wait to hear John's input on technology, because this is Grandpa here. So please, Kevin, ask him about technology. I love it.
Yeah, so how has that evolved? And maybe how has that changed what you do day in and day out?
Well, it really started with a legal pad. Like I was talking to Jim earlier. I mean, back then, all we did was take notes, and, with a legal pad, we would meet with clients and things like that. And now we have good tools. The nitrogen, I guess it was called Riskalyze. We like that name a little better, but it's called nitrogen, where, we input people's, it's almost like someone coming in and dumping a box of puzzle pieces on a table.
Oh, yeah.
And all these puzzle pieces are there, and we basically put it together. We look at their positions that they have with Riskalyze. We look at their statements, and we'll run a tax map on everybody, and then we'll run a Morningstar report. And I would have never thought or known how to do something like that, and putting that all together and report, that's the technology that we're doing today.
Hey, John, think back to 98, 99, when we were first doing this stuff, right?
Yeah.
Just think back then.
Yeah.
Imagine if we had these tools back, because we didn't know the answer. If you said, how much do we withhold for taxes? Remember what we did? There was a drop-down box.
Yes.
And we had 10% and 15%, right? That we had no idea what we were doing, because the tools weren't available for us.
A client would call on the phone, and they would need money, and we would call, and they would say, well, how much do you want to take out for taxes? And there was a drop-down box, and we'd just pick a number. And I didn't really. I think I always did 10%. I really just didn't even know.
Right. And John, can I share with him about when you first started working with me? And maybe it's 3 or 4 months into this really technical kind of world, because John doesn't come from a computer world at all, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, not at all. I can't tell you how many calendar stuff he's deleted, because he might not survive as many calendar entries as he deletes. But he called me one day and he said, listen, Jim, I don't think I can work with you anymore. And I said, why? He goes, I'm laying in bed at night and all I'm seeing are tax maps. and that was where he's at. And now, honestly, can you imagine not being able to sit down and run a tax map for somebody? How can you say that you're doing the right job for somebody without a tax map? Would you say that's a fair statement?
Oh, not at all. I mean, when people call, that's the first thing you really got to look at. You got to decide where you're going to get it. If they're wanting to convert something, but more important, if they need money. We got somebody right now that we're, talking with, and we knew right away where to get it. They want to purchase something, and we're showing them where to get it from.
Yeah.
And the first question was, what's it going to cost me in taxes? Mm-hmm. So,
yeah, super powerful.
Really is. I know I've used this analogy with you before. I want to get it from John as well, though, because, John, my background, I worked in baseball 21 years, literally half my life. I'm 42, 21 years. I revolved my entire existence around a Major League Baseball schedule. And I heard managers who worked in the minors, and they said the best part of their job is taking a guy who's been a career minor leaguer, right? He's ridden the bus for 10 years. He stayed in terrible motels. He never thought he was going to get a chance to get to the big leagues. And finally, lo and behold, an injury happens, the door opens, he has a chance to go to the big leagues. I bring that up because they tell me that's the best part of what they ever could do. So when it comes to sitting down with folks in the office, what is the most rewarding part of what you get to do every day?
I think sitting down and I think the most important thing we do is that we plan their income. Mm-hmm. We decide exactly, okay, what are they going to want or need in retirement? And again, the first thing we do, we identify, okay, what are you going to get in Social Security? If they have a pension, what are you getting in a pension? If not, we've got to make up that difference. So we have to look at their portfolio. We have to see, hopefully they have the funds to reach the goal. I've got somebody right now that's asked for a crazy number. Mm-hmm. I asked for $19,000 a month. It's not going to happen. And I'm going to have to tell them it's not going to be reality. So first and foremost, making sure that, they have their income. And then after that, looking at their portfolio and see if we can make that happen.
Was that Jim that was asking for that number?
Yeah, no, John just doesn't let me have any money. I mean, he's a horrible guy, man.
We're visiting with John Bertran, obviously part of Wadadli Financial Group. Of course, Jim Fox here with us as well, the financial straight talker himself. So let me ask you this, John. You've known this man for a couple of decades now. What is it like to be in the same office every single day with such a radio celebrity here?
Oh, I don't know about all that, but God, go ahead, John. Tell him how great I am to work with.
No, he is, man. One thing about Jim, I've never heard him talk about money, a commission. I've never heard about how much money we're going to make. We see some crap come across our table, and it was purposely done just to make a big amount of money. I've never once ever heard him say anything like that. And it's just rewarding to know that that's why I'm still there.
Yeah.
So, and I always know he's going to do the right thing. But sometimes I will be at that table with him, and we'll get done. And I'll walk out of there and I'll go, oh my God, how did you know that? Because we get a lot of engineers that come in and they think they know everything. Uh-huh. And it's funny how Jim professionally puts them in their place. And he basically makes them feel like, okay, well, I really don't know what this guy knows. And I ask him all the time, I go, how do you know that stuff? And he says, John, I've just learned it through the time and stuff. So.
Well, and our listeners get a chance to learn it each and every week here on Financial Straight Talk. If you'd like to schedule your initial consultation with the fine folks at Wadadli Financial Group, pick up the phone, give them a call today. 321-414-7526 is the number. Again, 321-414-PLAN. Online anytime. It's getfst.com. Jim, we had lunch earlier today, and we were talking about your office and the setting, and it's a small group that you have that work for you. I know that you also have experience with the bigger box firms as well. So, Jim, John, if you could, just explain what it's like being part of a smaller, more intimate group, a group that really takes a lot of pride in getting to know your clients as well.
Well, I don't know about you, John, but I remember that our training always used to consist of sales techniques, like, make sure they have a pen to take notes, but they weren't really there to take notes. It's so when you handed them paperwork to sign, they already had a pen in their hand, and it was that kind of campy nonsense that really drove me away from the industry, at least the big stores. And I always tell people, I said, look, here's the thing. It is not like we were being represented by Papa Smurf Investments, okay? I mean, we're working with Fidelity, Charles Schwab. I mean, we're working with the big boys too.
Right.
The only difference is, and John, tell me if you feel differently, but I truly believe the company we used to work for used to say, we do what's right 100% of the time. That was our favorite saying. And I always added an asterisk to that. Yeah, and it was for you, right? They do what's best for you 100% of the time. We really do. Every person that walks through our door, our goal is simply to help them accomplish their goals, to tell them what's possible and what's not. And if the good Lord is willing and we're the right fit, that we can work together. But that's my primary focus. And I learned a long time ago, I don't care what somebody thinks about me. I care about the value of my word and the things that we do. So that's my take on it. John, what about you?
I think the word transactions comes into play. I mean, that's what we did. That's all we did. We came in and we did transactions. Now, to come in and again, throw those puzzle pieces down and put them together and then present it back to them to where when they walk in, the biggest question, a lot of people will come in and it's even unknown when or if they're going to be able to retire at their goal. And to know that they tell us whatever age it is, whether it be 65 or if they're going to retire a little bit earlier and start collecting Social Security, can they? And we give them those answers. So at least they're going to get that answer when they leave our office. They're going to know exactly when and if they're going to be okay financially.
How about that?
It sounds like he's done this before.
I was going to say, have you been grooming him in the office?
I think I'm going to have every other week off very soon. And we have a new, ladies and gentlemen, we have Papa Financial Straight Talker now. Grandpa Financial Straight Talker.
No. You're not going to let him call you Grandpa, all right?
I've got 7 of them that call me Grandpa.
So why not? What's one more?
I guess there's worse things you could be called, right?
He's heard those too.
Well, it's mostly Papa.
I would love to talk. Maybe in the next seminar or the next workshop, we can talk about other things. It's probably not safe to
not
air
safe
on
in air, exactly.
Terrestrial radio. Well, listen, if you'd like to schedule your initial consultation with John, Jim, the entire team at Wadadli Financial Group, pick up the phone, give them a call today. If you're looking to plan for your retirement, 321-414-7526 is the number. Again, 321-414-PLAN or online. You can visit them at getfst.com. John, I think you got a future in this thing, man. You better watch out. I think Jim might take off the rest of the summer at this rate.
Okay, thank you.
Appreciate having you stop by the show. We'll do it again real soon. How's that sound?
Yes, sir.
That's John Bertran, part of the Wadadli Financial Group. Well, Jim, we got about a minute left in this week's show, and like we do each and every week, I'm going to leave the floor all yours for the final word, my friend.
Well, Kevin, thanks so much. Guys, we just want to say thank you. We appreciate you guys taking the time to listen to our show. We know that you have tons of options when it comes to getting financial information, and we're just honored to be one of those resources. So like Kevin said, if there's anything we can do, pick up the phone, give us a call, shoot us an email, smoke signals, whatever it is you want to do, reach out to us, and we're going to answer those questions for you. But with all of that being said, on behalf of myself and Mr. Kevin Mack, I want to thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you next time on Financial Straight Talk.
Thanks for listening to Financial Straight Talk with Jim Fox. To learn more, visit getfst.com.
Insurance products are offered through the insurance business Wadadli Financial Group. Wadadli Financial Group is also an investment advisory practice that offers products and services through Impact Partnership Wealth LLC IPW, a registered investment advisor. IPW does not offer insurance products. The insurance products offered by Wadadli Financial Group are not subject to investment advisor requirements. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal. Any references to protection, safety, or lifetime income generally refer to fixed insurance products, never securities or investments. Insurance guarantees are backed by the financial strength and claims paying abilities of the issuing carrier. This show is intended for informational purposes only. It is not intended to be used as the sole basis for financial decisions, nor should it be construed as advice designed to meet the particular needs of an individual's situation. Wadadli Financial Group is not permitted to offer, and no statement made during this show shall constitute tax or legal advice. Our firm is not affiliated with or endorsed by the U.S. government or any government agency. The information and opinions contained herein provided by third parties have been obtained from sources believed to be reliable, but accuracy and completeness cannot be guaranteed by Wadadli Financial Group.